In this video, I'm going to go over how to get big fast, and I'll show you the best way to bulk up that most guys don't even know about. So we're going to go from this guy right here to this guy right here. And my friend, if you want to get my exact workout routines that got me jacked, and you want to get results like these guys right here, click the top link in the description. You're going to get access to all the things that you need there. So number one, surplus of calories. Here's the thing. I've got 3 points here. We're going to go very, very fast through the first two because the first two are just some basic knowledge that I think you need to know. So if you already know this, maybe still watch it. Maybe you find something, you learn something new or no, but it's just better to at least check your information if it's correct or not. So the first point is going to be, what are calories? Well, here's the thing. If you want to go from point A to point B, we usually use kilometers, right? How many kilometers are, or whatever unit, in order to measure the distance, right? We use a unit in order to measure the distance. Calories is just a unit that we use in order to find out how much energy is in a certain food. Your body uses energy in order to perform all the tasks, right? So you get that energy from the food. We use the calories to measure how much energy we get from all the food that we eat. That's pretty much it, right, for the calories. Now, next point, what is a surplus? So we know what are calories, but what is a surplus of calories? Well, here's the thing. Your body needs a certain amount of calories in order to perform all the daily tasks, right? And nothing more. So let's say, for example, your body needs only this amount. It doesn't really matter. Let's say it's 2000. Okay, let's make it. Yeah, let's say it's 2000 calories, right? And this is how many calories you need to perform all the tasks that you need to do in a day, and you get nothing left, right? So that means if you eat this amount, you're not going to gain any fat, you're not going to lose any fat, you're just going to maintain your body fat the same. You're going to maintain your body. Now, what happens if you eat more? This right here is the surplus. It doesn't really matter how much it is. It can be 100, 200, 300. It doesn't really matter. But this right here is the surplus. Let's say it's 500. So then if you eat this, total is going to be 2500. So this right here is the surplus, and this is your maintenance. So whatever you eat over your maintenance, it's a surplus. And I like to explain this to the guys in my program. I like to explain this like this. So imagine every single day you can eat one full bar of chocolate, and you go to the store, and every single day you buy one chocolate bar, and you eat one chocolate bar. You eat one chocolate, you buy one chocolate every single day. At the end of the day, you are not left with any chocolate, right? You eat one chocolate, you buy one chocolate. That's it. Now, that's your maintenance, right? A surplus is basically when you go to the store, and from tomorrow you start buying 2 chocolates. So, but you can only eat one chocolate, right? That didn't change. So you go to store, you buy 2, but you eat 1. So at the end of the day, you're going to be left with 1. What you're going to do, you're going to put that into the storage or whatever. And after 1 month, you're going to have whatever, 30 chocolates in the storage. That's the surplus. That's going to be the extra fat or the extra muscles, depending on what you do. But that's basically, in very, very simple terms, how it works. All right, now let's talk about how to achieve this surplus, right? Because we know what are calories. Okay, we use calories to measure the energy in the food. We know what is the surplus. It's more than we need. But how do we achieve this surplus? And this is the important stuff right here. By constantly following an easy meal plan that puts you in a surplus, right? This is the easiest way to bulk up and to enjoy, right? Because if you enjoy the food that you eat, you're going to eat more And if you eat more than you need, you are bulking up. So the easiest way to bulk up is to enjoy what you eat. That's basically the secret right there. Most people force feeding, all that stuff. They're trying to eat a lot of stuff that they don't really like, or they try to eat junk food, and yeah, that's not healthy at all. It's not that we just want to gain weight. We want to gain weight, gain muscle, and still be healthy, right? That's not the point, to just gain weight. So here's the thing, a surplus of calories sample meal plan for you that I've made. And this meal plan, I think you can follow it every single day. You can change some things, of course, some of the things, but this meal plan, it optimizes muscle growth because you get 4 meals a day. It optimizes recovery, you get a bunch of food, a bunch of calories. It optimizes the workout. Why? Because we've got the pre-workout and the post-workout meal, and it has a bunch of carbs and a bunch of protein before and after the workout. And it's also easy to follow, not that hard, and not a lot of volume, a lot of food. So it's hard to eat, right? So here's the thing. We're going to start with meal number 1. Of course, you can change the hours, you can change the food that you eat, but I just want to give you an example so you can either follow it like this if you enjoy the food that I wrote here, but if not, you can change some things. It doesn't really matter. So meal number 1, pre-workout, we're going to have about 40 grams of protein. The daily macros are going to be 150 grams of protein, 60 grams of fat, and the rest is going to be carbs, fibers, something like that. So 2 scoops of whey protein, a coffee, and a bunch of fruits. That's going to be our pre-workout. Or you can have some eggs with bread and fruits. Either way, high protein, high carbs, you're good to go before a workout. Meal number 2 is going to be the post-workout. So we're going to have some meat, some sauce, and some pasta, and maybe some fruit at the end, right? Optional. You can switch this with chicken, broccoli, and rice if you really like that. You can switch with whatever you like, lasagna or whatever. Next, meal number 3 is going to be around 5 p.m. Like I said, you can change the hours, but this time we're going to eat some soy chicken with rice with grilled veggies. We also get the fibers, we get carbs, we get protein. That's good. And the last meal is going to be some homemade mass gainer shake that you can make yourself, or some protein ice cream that you can also make yourself, or you can buy some from the store. It doesn't really matter. So as you can see, the main meals that you're going to eat is going to be in meal 2 and meal 3, and probably meal 1 if you eat, let's say, the eggs with the bread and all that stuff. And the rest is basically an ice cream and a shake. That's pretty much what you're going to eat. All right, let's talk about training intensity. The most progress that I made was when my technique was super clean, but still pushing to failure. Because bad technique equals no gains. But why? Well, technique means that you are working and targeting the muscle that you want to grow. If we talk about hypertrophy technique, and this is what we're talking about. We want to build more muscle. That means we want to do hypertrophy training. So we talk about hypertrophy technique. That means we target the muscle that we want to grow. If we do a bicep curl, we want to feel the bicep working, not the shoulder, not the forearm, not any other muscle. If we do a bench press, we want to feel mainly the chest working. If we do lateral raises, we want to feel the lateral parts of the delts working mainly, right? If we do ab exercises, we want to feel the abs. If we do quads, we want to feel the quads. You get the point. You need to feel the muscle that you want to train. So next time you train, if you do whatever exercise and you don't feel the muscle that you want to train working, check your technique. Search a YouTube video, search something, join my program, or do something in order to check your technique. Because like that's the start. If you don't feel the muscle working, that means you're not giving it a stimulus. And if the muscle doesn't receive a stimulant, the muscle is not going to grow, because it doesn't receive the signal, okay, you need to grow, because you don't work that muscle. So technique, pay attention to the technique. There are a bunch of ways to fix that. Search videos, watch videos, record yourself, watch yourself doing the exercise, all of that stuff. Train slower. Technique is your starting point. And next, I've got a couple of points for you. So training should be painful, right? Training should be painful. So if you go to the gym and you've been training for, let's say, 3 months or so, until 3 months, it's okay if it's not painful, right? You just want to focus on technique, build up the base. But if you've been training for 3 months and your training is not painful, you go to the gym and your every single set looks like a warm-up set, it's not optimal, right? You're not going to build muscle. So training should be painful. And what I like to explain is, let's say this is a set. And we split the set into 2 zones. Here is going to be the first reps. Let's say you do 10 reps. So the first zone is going to be, let's say, around 1 to 7 reps. First 7 reps are going to be relatively easy, right? But then the last three reps are going to be hard. The weight is going to slow down, is going to be feel heavier and heavier and heavier. The speed of the reps is going to go down, is going to decrease. The muscle is going to burn. You're going to feel a pump, things like that. So it should be painful. So next, train to failure. Now here's the thing. What does failure mean? Well, if you do 10 reps and then you cannot do 1 more rep with good form and with good technique, that's failure right there. You achieved failure. So that's basically it. Train till failure. Not all the time, from time to time, but maybe a few times a week, try training till failure. Then apply progressive overload. How do you apply progressive overload? You either add 1 rep or you add 1 kilogram every single week, just to make it easy for you. So you know, okay, this week I add only 1 rep to every single exercise. Or this week I'm going to add only 1 kilogram to every exercise. And I'm going to try to match my reps from the last week. So you still keep the progress. You don't go down. You just go up like this. And don't train if the muscle is still painful, stiff, or sore, because that means the muscle is still not recovered. So if you experience that, maybe do a little bit less sets, or decrease the weight a bit if you don't recover until the next session. And my point, the last point, is to just stick for 3 to 6 months and you're going to start to see results. Because here's how progress actually works in your case. It goes something like this. So you start right here and then a bit, and then it goes like this, and then it starts to be steady. So from here to here is going to be your first 3 months. From here to here is going to be from 3 months to whatever. It can be months or years until you achieve your genetic limit. So after 3 months, the point is this, that after 3 months, you're going to start to see a bunch of results. The results are going to compound, because in your first 3 months, your body actually learns the movement, adapts to the training and all that stuff. But after 3 months, you're going to start to see visible changes to your body, and you're going to get a greater pumps, you're going to get, you're going to start to, after every single workout, you're going to look better and better and better, right? Because you're going to start to tap in those newbie gains. After you hit your genetic limits, it can be months or years, the progress is going to slow down, but don't even bother about that. First, focus on going through the first 3 months, because these are the hardest ones. Once you pass 3 months, you are good to go. You're going to start to see a bunch of progress. And if you want to get the full blueprint that actually works with the step-by-step daily tasks that you can take in order to achieve this goal, I laid it down all the things that you need to do. Click the top link in the description and you're going to start to see results like these guys right here. You've got all the information there. I literally walk you by hand on all the things that you need to do in order to achieve this goal.